It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join Paul David and Jen Cohen as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives in Yavapai County. And now, here's today's Countywide.
Hello and welcome to Countywide. I'm your host, Jen Cohen. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today we are talking to Quinci Castleberry, who is the Yavapai County Program Manager for the Casa program. It's a court-appointed special advocate program here in our area. You may not have heard about it. We are going to fix that today. Quinci, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Now tell us, what is Casa? I mean, really, we're going to educate a lot of people today who may not have heard about this.
The Court-Appointed Special Advocate Program is a program that recruits and trains volunteers to advocate for children while they're in the foster care system.
Ah, well that's wonderful. And tell me why, when a child's in a foster care system, does it need, or he or she need, an advocate?
The foster care system is scary. Children have been removed from their biological family for reasons that have nothing to do with anything that they've done. They are put in an unfamiliar situation. They may or may not be living with somebody that they know. They might be going to a new school. They have never, most likely, been involved in this situation before. And what a CASA does is they come alongside that child. They are with them every step of the way. They are letting the team, there's always a team that's involved when children come into foster care, letting them know what's in the best interest of this child. They are able to devote more time and more energy in getting to know that child and their special needs while they're in foster care than anybody else who's working on the team with that child. So sometimes they become a friend, a mentor, but most importantly, they are a constant in that child's life during a very uncertain time.
Sure, yes, everyone needs an advocate during the tough times of their lives. And
absolutely.
This is specifically designed for children in foster care. What's the difference between a CASA volunteer and a Big Brother, Big Sister volunteer?
A Big Brother, Big Sister is appointed to a child that maybe has a missing parent. Maybe they're being raised by a single father, a single mother. And a Big Brother, Big Sister is filling that void for that child. And Big Brothers Big Sisters is a fabulous program. We like to say that a CASA is Big Brothers Big Sisters on steroids. You are going to the next level because you are involved with the court system. You're going to be appearing before a judge and making recommendations for that child. You get to know every aspect of that child and their family, the reasons why they were brought into care to begin with. And you're going through that journey with them to help them navigate the rocky waters that they're experiencing. And it's much more involved. You're writing some reports. You are doing more paperwork than maybe a Big Brother, Big Sister has to do. But the payoff and the benefit is so beneficial, I think, not only to the child but to the advocate, because they know that they're doing something really important.
Yeah, you're getting that child's needs met, making sure you're the champion of the child.
Yes.
This child needs more of this or less of that, or let's get this happening.
Yes.
And you have the ability to make that happen.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Now you started out your career with CASA as a volunteer, correct?
I did 6 years ago. My husband and I moved to Yavapai County. We were from Orange County in California. And I had looked into CASA probably 10 years before, but because of the time commitment, we do ask that you stay on a case through the permanency phase, which is anywhere from 18 months to 2 years. So it is a big commitment. And the time wasn't right in my life until we moved out here to Arizona. And as soon as we got here, I jumped in, I advocated for a year, and then a job opening became available in the office. And based on that experience, I knew that's where I was supposed to be. So, but my year of advocacy was fantastic. I spent time every week with my girl. I wrote my reports, I did my trainings, and I actually was working full-time while I did it. So even though our program usually appeals to people who are retired because they have that time to give back, it can also be done while you're working full-time. So yeah, the experience was great, and I love being involved now from this aspect of actually providing the training and doing the recruiting for people who are interested in investing in the community and in our future, really, with this next generation.
Absolutely. Everything you do to help a child in their life is going to thus ripple out and help everybody around them that comes in touch with them, you know, throughout their lives. I mean, you know, think of a small person, as you say, in an uncertain world, thrust upon this new place, and oh my gosh, to have someone who has their back, you know, is huge.
It is. And I don't even think that we actually see the full effect of a CASA necessarily during the advocacy period. I think the impact is probably far greater than people realize for much longer than they realize as well.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Now, if you wanted to be a CASA volunteer, do you need to have special skills? Do you need to have experience in the court system or in the foster system or anything like that?
That is the beauty of the program, Jen. We will train you. All you have to do is you do have to be at least 21. You have to be able to pass a background check. We are very protective of our children in care, and go through the training and have a heart for children. We will give you the tools that you need. We will give you ongoing training and the skills. We'll point you in the right direction. We will walk with you. Our staff is trained. We have excellent staff that has background in child welfare that will walk with you as an advocate so that you're successful. So we have advocates that are young, we have them that are old, we have people who have never had children of their own and never had any type of background or training with child welfare. But we'll fill in all the gaps if you have that desire and you think that you have 15 to 20 hours a month to devote to a child.
Which I'm sure everyone can find.
Yes,
you know, when you think about that. Well, that's wonderful that you have the ability to train them.
Yes.
And that those advocates have an advocate behind them to help them through the process.
Absolutely.
A lot of opportunities for volunteerism is, okay, here's what you need to know, and go.
Yes.
And it's nice to see that doesn't happen with CASA.
Correct. We are available by phone, by email. You can stop into the office. And because we work so well with one another within the office, if the person you normally talk to isn't available, you can talk to somebody else. And they can usually help you through your problem, through your issue maybe that you're experiencing with your case. But yeah, we don't send you off on your own. We are a team in Yavapai County, and I look at all of our CASA volunteers as a member of the team, and we support one another.
Absolutely. So. And at the bottom of that is the support of the child in need in the foster care system.
Yes.
Bumbling through the courts going, someone to stand by them, advocate for them, hold their hand if necessary, and help them get their needs met.
Yes.
You know, who's going to do that for them without CASA?
Right.
Who does that?
You know, you have a foster parent maybe, but you never know how many children they might be caring for in their home, both foster or biological. The attorneys that are assigned to these children only see their kids about once every 3 months.
Oh, that's nothing.
The case managers from the Department of Child Safety see the child once a month. That can be for 5 minutes. It could be for an hour. You never know. But the CASA volunteer is that constant person who is showing up regularly and really getting to know what the needs are of that child.
Excellent. We've got to take a short break. We'll be right back with a little bit more countywide for you. We're talking to Quinci Castleberry, who is the Yavapai County Program Manager for CASA. We'll be right back.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
The Q102.9 plays all the hits.
Yo, what's going on? This is Drizzy Drake.
Ariana Grande.
Maroon 5.
This is Rihanna.
I'm Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Bruno Mars.
Ed Sheeran.
What's up, guys? It's Justin Bieber.
You're listening to The Weeknd.
Start your day with Brian James in the morning. You'll get at least 10 songs in a row during your ride home with Julie Page.
Zach Sang Show.
Catch the Zach Sang Show weeknights 7 to midnight. And Kelly Fox weekends on your home for hit music. The Q102.9 and 104.9 in Prescott and Cottonwood.
There are people who struggle with addiction and homelessness. Sometimes it may feel like there is nothing we can do to help.
But there is. You can make a tax-deductible donation and help those in need transition away from homelessness.
When you give someone a handout, you could actually be supporting an addiction.
A better life starts with better health, especially for those living in the streets.
Support solutions, not addictions. You can make a difference. Visit cottonwoodcares.com.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
And welcome back. We're here with Countywide. We're talking to Quinci Castleberry, the Yavapai County Program Manager for CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocate Program for Children in Foster Care. If you'd like to check it out, go to casaofyavapaicounty.org. That's the website. You can check that out. They've got offices in Prescott and in Camp Verde. Yes. And you guys cover all of Yavapai County, is that correct?
All of Yavapai County. People don't realize how big the county is until you have to go visit a child down at the tip of almost going into Wickenburg or out to Seligman or down to Black Canyon City. I mean, we are a huge county and we've got kids in care all over.
Right. How many, do you have a rough estimate of how many kids are in care right now?
Boy, it fluctuates, Jen. We're probably around 415 children in care right now. And currently we have about 66 CASA volunteers to serve all of those children in care. So as you can tell, if you can do the simple math, there's a deficit there. We would like to have an advocate for every child in care. That is a goal of mine. That is a goal of the Superior Court dependency judge, Anna Young, to have a CASA volunteer supporting every child that we have in care. So that's the goal we're trying to reach, to have an advocate for all of those children.
Wow, that's a huge number.
It is. Yeah. It is. People don't realize this is happening in their community. Children are being removed, and it's usually for pretty extenuating circumstances, but they need an advocate. They need somebody who's going to walk beside them.
Right, and the objective is to reunite these children with their family members, their biological parents, but you have to make sure that the needs are being met.
Correct.
And how do you do that with the CASA program?
With the CASA program, based on the training that the volunteers are given, they are working with a team, and that team is setting goals for these parents to achieve, to be able to reunify. We do have a big problem with substance abuse in Yavapai County, so most of our cases involve a parent becoming clean and sober. Those services are made available to parents at no cost to the parent, and the CASA volunteer is monitoring that case to make sure parents are taking advantage of those services, whether it's an inpatient service or an outpatient service to deal with the substance abuse. They are ensuring that a parent is going to counseling sessions or therapy or in any type of identified problem that needs to be remedied. The CASA is the one that is making sure the child isn't falling through the cracks, that the services that are being made available are actually being done, by the parent. And then all during this time, making sure that any needs that the child has are being met as well. Oftentimes our kids suffer from learning disabilities, speech therapy issues. There are things that have not been met because parents have been preoccupied with their problems. And so the CASA is monitoring that. They're meeting with the child, they're talking to their placement, asking them, you know, are you noticing anything? Are there behavior problems that maybe we can address through some counseling services? They are just really bird dogging all of these situations that are coming up in a child's life, and then monitoring to make sure that the parents are following through with the services they're supposed to be engaged in during this time, so that we're always hoping for a successful reunification with a parent and child, because we understand the child wants to be with mom or dad, or both, if that's possible. But when it's not, the CASA volunteer sometimes has to make that tough decision to recommend that the child not reunify, because it wouldn't be in their best interest.
Yes, and it's all about the best interest of the child.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I do like that it folds over into the parents a little bit too, because they're making sure that the parents are getting what they need to be the parents they need to be for the children. So there's a little bit of runoff that's benefiting the parents involved as well, which is an extra side benefit. It's not just about the kids, it's about getting the parents to get with it, so that they
get on
can,
board. Yeah. In Yavapai County, we've actually expanded a lot of the resources that we've made available to parents. There's a group called the Family Involvement Center, and they're based in Prescott Valley, but they actually have parent mentors, people who will come alongside the parent and help them navigate the system and help them be successful. We provide all types of resources to the parents. We have mediations for the parents so that we can go over services outside of the courtroom setting, because courtrooms are intimidating, not just to CASA volunteers or other people, but these parents sometimes are overwhelmed with what's going on. And so we have a lot of services in place to help them be successful. And I'm really proud of what we've done in Yavapai. Because we're a smaller community, we can provide those extra services and that extra touch to help the parents that do want to be successful achieve that goal and reunify with their children.
That's great. Yeah. Everybody needs a little help in a situation like that. We do have a pretty good sized need here.
We do.
For CASA.
We do. With the, over 400 children, and the numbers always fluctuate, but we've stayed pretty steady above 400 for the last few years. At one point we were reaching almost 500 children in care, and thankfully that number has gone down a little bit. But we just need more people who care about children, are willing to learn about the system, and to spend that time.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And so if you are interested, you can check out casaofyavapaicounty.org. Lots of information there to lead you to all the different sites that you need, any questions that you may have, how to volunteer, how to get involved, what is involved in getting involved, the trainings, which we'll get to in a minute. We do have to take another short break, but we'll get back to that. So check out casaofyavapaicounty.org. They have offices locally. They cover all of Yavapai County for Prescott. They're in Camp Verde as well. We'll be right back. We're speaking with Quinci Castleberry, the Yavapai County Program Manager for CASA. Don't go away.
Listen to me. I am captain of the track team. And if I'm late...
She doesn't really think she's going to get out of here, does she?
Be nice. She's new.
Hello, is anyone there? Ugh!
Wow. Even from our standards, you look awful.
Oh, sweetie, what happened?
Me? My friend Becky got to talk to this super cute boy, and I tried to act like I wasn't jealous, but I so totally was. And then out of nowhere, this concrete barrier just popped up. Maybe it was a semi.
You mean you were driving?
Yeah. I mean, I know the whole eyes on the road thing, but this was a super important text. Maybe you have to know, Becky.
Texting? Great.
But it was only like 5 seconds, and I'm a really, really fast texter, so it wasn't even a big deal. Actually, has she texted me back yet? Wow, I get like no bars in this place. I wonder if they have Wi-Fi here.
There are people who struggle with addiction and homelessness. Sometimes it may feel like there is nothing we can do to help.
But there is. You can make a tax-deductible donation and help those in need transition away from homelessness.
When you give someone a handout, you could actually be supporting an addiction.
A better life starts with better health, especially for those living in the streets.
Support solutions, not addictions. You can make a difference. Visit cottonwoodcares.com.
Q102.9 plays all the hits.
Yo, what's going on? This is Drizzy Drake.
Ariana Grande.
Maroon 5.
This is Rihanna.
Mateo. I'm Shawn Mendes. Hey, it's Bruno Mars. Ed Sheeran. What's up, guys? It's Justin Bieber. You're listening to The Weeknd.
Start your day with Brian James in the morning. You'll get at least 10 songs in a row during your ride home with Julie Page.
Zach Sang Show.
Catch the Zach Sang Show weeknights 7 to midnight. And Kelly Fox weekends on your home for hit music. The Q102.9 and 104.9 in Prescott and Cottonwood.
And welcome back to Countywide. I'm your host, Jen Cohen. We're speaking with Quinci Castleberry, the Yavapai County Program Manager for CASA, the Court-Appointed Special Advocates for Children in Foster Care. It's very interesting. I love what you just said about how when you're in court, how the judge listens to what the CASA volunteer has to say, because they're on the inside and they know, and everybody else is telling their little stories.
Right.
But you have the information coming directly from the CASA volunteer that is meaningful and important to the situation with that child, and the judge listens.
She does. Judge Young, she's phenomenal. She hears all of the cases that we have. So she knows these kids, she knows these cases, but she knows that if a CASA volunteer is on the case, they have invested more time, more energy into getting to know that child and their situation. I have been in court, Jen, where all of the parties will be making certain recommendations, or they kind of gloss over a lot of the problems that are going on in a case. The CASA speaks up. The CASA says, Judge, this is what I'm seeing. This is what I've observed. And that case will take a totally different direction based on the information she has received from the CASA. I've heard of and witnessed everybody saying this child should go home, or this is okay, this is what's happening. And the CASA says, no, I don't think so. And the judge will support the CASA in what they're saying and recommending. So we have a great team.
Yeah,
we have a great team.
Wonderful to be able to have that ability to create change in that person's life, that little person's life. Now, as a volunteer, we've got the training covered. And you say the training is now local.
The training is local. Volunteers used to have to travel to Phoenix. We brought the training local about 3 years ago. It is over at the Juvenile Justice Center in Prescott. It's a 2-day training. We do some components are online, reading at home. We have our 2-day, we call it an academy. In fact, our academy starts tomorrow for this month. We offer it every other month. But if you give us a call or you go online, we'll receive an inquiry about the program and somebody will get back with you. We'll send you an application. And once you return that to our office, we'll set up a time for an interview. Interviews usually last about an hour and a half. Sometimes they go as long as 3 hours, depends on how much you like to talk. And we get to know you, you get to know us. It's a great time to determine, is this program right for me? You go through the academy, you do your background check, you do a courtroom observation, and then you actually have the opportunity to select the case that you want to work on. So
there you go. That will be comforting to a lot of people, I think.
Yes, we don't just give you cases, here's your case with 10 children, good luck. You know, you have some buy-in on the case that you select. And usually we find CASAs, after they've gone through all their training, we show them a few different cases and they say, this one really connects with me for whatever reason. I think I can make the most difference for this child or these children.
Making a difference, that's what it's all about. If you feel you've got some time to make a difference, then this is a great place to do it in. Or just have an inquiry. If you've got questions, please, by all means, contact Casa of Yavapai County. Absolutely. Give them a call. They've got 2 offices, Prescott and Camp Verde. Go to casaofyavapaicounty.org. Answer all your questions. Don't stop here. If you've got questions, check it out. CASA may be for you. We've been speaking with Quinci Castleberry, Yavapai County Program Manager for CASA. Thank you for being here. That's all the time we have for Countywide. Thank you. See you next time.